Did you know that the most famous educational cartoon in American history almost never made it past the first meeting? When advertising executive David McCall pitched Schoolhouse Rock to ABC in 1972, the network executive sat in stunned silence until animation legend Chuck Jones, creator of Bugs Bunny, spoke up with just 2 words that changed Saturday mornings forever. Buy it! Today, we will dive deep into mind-blowing facts about your favorite educational cartoon, Schoolhouse Rock, the show that shaped our childhoods.
Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Lolly, 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 got some adverbs here.
Number 15. The entire Schoolhouse Rock empire started because one frustrated father couldn't help his son with homework. In 1971, David McCall, chairman of McCaffrey and McCall Advertising Agency, discovered his son could sing every Rolling Stones song perfectly, but couldn't remember that 7 times 8 equals 56. That night at dinner, McCall had his eureka moment. He called jazz musician Bob Dorough, who'd once written a novelty album about canned food ingredients, and asked him to turn multiplication into music. Dorough created 3 is a magic number, and when illustrator Tom Yohe heard it at the agency, he immediately started sketching visuals. The combination was so compelling that when they showed it to ABC, animation legend Chuck Jones happened to be in the meeting. According to producer George Newell, Jones watched the pilot, turned to young executive Michael Eisner, and delivered the shortest, most decisive review in television history. Buy it. Eisner immediately greenlit the series. Decades later, Eisner would say more people mentioned Schoolhouse Rock to him than Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Lion King. Number 14. They almost called it Scholastic Rock until someone realized Scholastic Inc. already owned that name. The creators were scrambling for alternatives when someone remembered Elvis Presley's 1957 hit Jailhouse Rock. The formula clicked instantly. Replace jailhouse with schoolhouse, and you've got a name that promises classroom lessons won't feel like detention. The rebellious Rock and Roll Association was exactly what they needed to make education feel cool. When the show premiered on January 6, 1973, the name proved perfect. It told kids exactly what they were getting while promising it wouldn't be boring. Number 13. Every single Schoolhouse Rock song had to be exactly 3 minutes long, and this wasn't an artistic choice. ABC needed uniform 3-minute segments to fill gaps between Saturday morning cartoons, the same slots used for cereal commercials. The creators, being advertising professionals, understood this constraint perfectly. They wrote lessons like commercial jingles, designed to hook viewers instantly. Bob Dorough's original 3 is a magic number actually ran longer and included the line, "A man and a woman had a little baby," which got cut for time. Songs like My Hero Zero and The Four-Legged Zoo lost entire verses that only appeared on album versions. The time limit forced incredible creative discipline. Every song had to grab attention immediately, teach something memorable, and wrap up before kids could change the channel. Number 12. Before any song could air, it had to pass inspection by real educators at Bank Street College of Education in New York City. The creators wanted academic credibility, not just catchy tunes. When Dorough finished 3 is a magic number, they tested it in actual classrooms. Students remembered both the melody and the math perfectly. Bank Street reviewed every script and lyric, ensuring facts were solid even when rhymes got playful. Their input became crucial during America Rock, when topics like the Constitution and westward expansion needed extra sensitivity. This academic partnership gave Schoolhouse Rock its rare balance. Entertainment that was actually educational, which is why teachers embraced it nationwide. Number 11. The original Schoolhouse Rock almost disappeared forever until someone found the master tapes in a Connecticut barn. When the series ended in 1985, nobody preserved the materials properly. Animation cells, sheet music, and the 24-track master recordings vanished into network storage oblivion. For years, fans thought the original recordings were lost. Then in the early 1990s, as ABC explored a revival due to massive fan campaigns, someone made an incredible discovery. The master audio reels turned up in a barn in Connecticut. Nobody's entirely sure who found them or how they got there, but these dusty boxes contain the songs that taught an entire generation. The rediscovered tapes made high-quality re-releases possible and fueled the show's return to TV in 1993. Number 10. Bob Dorough wasn't just some jingle writer. He was a legitimate jazz legend who recorded with Miles Davis. Before teaching kids about conjunctions, Dorough played Paris clubs in the 1950s and recorded his debut album, Devil May Care, in 1956. In 1962, Miles Davis, the notoriously selective trumpeter, recorded 2 songs with Dorough, Blue Xmas and Nothing Like You. Davis once called Dorough a pedantic tyrant, which, coming from Miles, was basically a compliment. Doroug's sophisticated jazz background explains why Schoolhouse Rock never talked down to kids. The unexpected key changes, complex time signatures, and genuine swing made these educational songs musically legitimate. He performed into his 90s, often slipping Conjunction Junction into jazz club sets. He earned a Grammy nomination in 1974 and received the National Endowment for the Arts Jazz Masters Award in 2019. Bob Dorough passed away on April 23, 2018, at age 94. Number 9. The backing vocals you hear on early Schoolhouse Rock songs, those were the creator's actual children. Bob Dorough brought in his daughter Arlie, along with kids of other studio musicians, to sing choruses. These weren't professional child actors or polished studio singers. The raw, untrained voices gave songs genuine classroom energy. You can hear it clearly on The Four-Legged Zoo, where Doro's cool adult vocals bounce off the kids' enthusiastic responses. This wasn't a big-budget corporate production. It was a scrappy, family-driven experiment by musicians and ad creatives who believed kids could learn and groove simultaneously. Having their own children participate made everything feel authentic and homemade, which became part of Schoolhouse Rock's enduring charm. Number 8. In 1989, hip-hop group De La Soul sampled 3 is a Magic Number and turned your Saturday morning math lesson into alternative hip-hop gold. Their debut album, 3 Feet High and Rising, featured the Magic Number, built around Bob Dorough's 1973 tune. They didn't just borrow a melody, they made it the foundation of their breakout single. 3 wasn't about arithmetic anymore, but about them as a trio preaching positivity. The track layered in everything from Double D and Steinsky to Led Zeppelin drums. Unlike other samples that caused legal troubles, this one cleared smoothly. When Spider-Man No Way Home played the Magic Number over its 2021 end credits, celebrating 3 Spider-Men, it proved Dorough was right. 3 really is magic. Number 7. Interplanet Janet gave us our first female space superhero teacher in 1978, years before Ms. Frizzle took her magic school bus to space. Written and performed by Lynn Ahrens, who'd later win Tony Awards for Ragtime, the song introduced a silver jumpsuited cosmic guide teaching planetary order through jazz and jetpacks. Each verse toured the solar system when most outer planets had barely been photographed. The song was scientifically solid for its time, though it included Pluto as a planet. When Pluto got downgraded in 2006, later DVD releases quietly changed 9 planets to 8, while some teachers just paused mid-song to explain. Janet returned in 2009's Solar Power to the People, proving she still had star power decades later. Number 6. I'm Just a Bill became so iconic that Jack Sheldon, who voiced Bill, said he couldn't go anywhere without someone singing it to him. Written by Dave Frischberg, it debuted March 27, 1976, as part of America Rock. The exhausted piece of paper explaining how laws get made became civics education for millions. Sheldon's gravelly voice gave Bill his weary charm, while the kid asking questions was Sheldon's real-life son, John. The song was optimistic, featuring no filibusters, lobbyists, or gridlock, just patient democracy at work. The Simpsons parodied it with Sheldon voicing An Amendment to Be. Saturday Night Live, Family Guy, and Robot Chicken all took shots at it. In 2018, the Library of Congress added it to the National Recording Registry, declaring it culturally significant enough to preserve forever. Number 5. The preamble worked so well that teachers reported students humming it during Constitution tests. Lynn Ahrens wrote and performed this as one of her first professional gigs, long before becoming a Broadway legend. She set the Constitution's opening to gentle folk music, dropping just 4 words of the United States to fit the rhythm, but keeping everything else accurate. The animation traced America from 1787 Philadelphia to modern day. Teachers immediately adopted it for civics classes. One 1980s teacher joked that half her class hummed the melody during exams. The The New York Times praised it in 1976 for turning the Constitution into a joyful, musical experience. For millions, this wasn't just a cartoon, but how they learned what we the people actually meant. Number 4. Schoolhouse Rock's revival in 1993 happened because Generation X college students literally demanded it back. No social media, no hashtags, just pure nostalgic grassroots campaigning through phone calls and letters. ABC noticed the groundswell and brought the classics back to Saturday mornings. The response was instant and overwhelming. They even produced new episodes. Bob Dorough and Jack Sheldon reunited for fresh grammar rock numbers like Busy Prepositions. Money Rock arrived in 1994, somehow making taxes and credit funky with Tyrannosaurus Debt. A 1995 off-Broadway musical followed, then a 1996 tribute album featuring Blind Melon and Better Than Ezra. The generation that grew up with the show literally willed it back into existence. Number 3. Bob Dorough's 40th anniversary performance at the Kennedy Center in January 2013 drew the biggest crowd in that venue's Millennium Stage history. The space usually holds a few hundred people. Nearly 1,000 showed up, packing aisles and stairways. Gen Xers brought their kids. Jazz fans brought nostalgia, and everyone sang every word to Junction. It wasn't the main concert hall, but for the Millennium Stage series, it set an attendance record. An educational cartoon from the 1970s pulled a bigger audience than most modern jazz performances. 4 decades later, the song still knew how to bring people together. Number 2. Junction became so universally known that the U.S. Department of Education used it as hold music in 2010. Written by Bob Dorough and performed by Jack Sheldon, it first aired November 17, 1973. The railroad metaphor, with boxcars labeled and, but, and or, hooking up like train cars, created the perfect visual. Sheldon wasn't just a voice actor, but a jazz veteran and Merv Griffin show sidekick, whose relaxed delivery made grammar feel cool. Real jazz musicians played backup, explaining why it grooves like something from a jazz club. The song appeared in Reality Bites, Glee, and countless other shows. Ask anyone born between 1965 and 1985 what a conjunction does, and they'll probably sing the answer. And the most interesting fact, number 1. Here's the heartbreaking truth. The creators who gave us these timeless songs made almost no money from their cultural impact, because Schoolhouse Rock was created inside McCaffrey and McCall Advertising Agency as work for hire. Everything belonged to the agency, and eventually ABC. Bob Dorough was reportedly paid per song, like any commercial jingle, nothing more. Even as the series became legendary, Dorough still performed in clubs and taught music to pay bills. Lynn Ahrens received only modest fees for her contributions. When Disney acquired ABC in 1996, they got everything, including all future profits from merchandise, reruns, and streaming. Dorough remained philosophical, performing the songs at jazz gigs into his 80s, smiling as fans sang along. The creators didn't make millions, but they educated billions. That's a legacy money can't buy. So there you have it. The real story of Schoolhouse Rock is even more incredible than fiction. From master tapes hidden in a barn, to Bob Dorough playing with Miles Davis, to creators who changed education forever without getting rich from it. What shocked you most? Was it Chuck Jones saving the show with 2 words? Or that De La Soul turned math into hip-hop gold? Drop a comment and tell us which Schoolhouse Rock song you still can't get out of your head. If you want more movie or series deep dives like this one, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. Next up, we will be covering some interesting facts about a movie we all loved as teenagers, so stay tuned for that.